Hi everybody, this is D. Halleck with Scenario Arms. Just wanted to make this video for YouTube to show you our newest product, the Spec front sight gas block. It's usable on any paintball gun, pretty much any aftermarket barrel system, up to 1 inch outside diameter. As you can see here on the Phenom, we have it with our Scenario Arms Scar Stock 5.56 mag. This isn't the new one we're going to be releasing soon. And this completes the look of the Scar. Now, as you can see right now, on a 1 inch diameter barrel, you have to sand down a little bit from the inside of it, and we've included these longer screws that you could use with it for the people who have the longer barrels. The kit comes with the top and the bottom half, the 2 lengths of screws for the people using the 7/8 inch barrels, as well as the 1 inch ones, like the hammerheads and the obscure operator barrels. And also we're including this Allen key, because these are metric screws. So even though a 7/64 Allen key will work, there's a little play in it, so we're providing this just to be nice for you guys. And so you can get a close-up look. You can see how it actually looks like it's butting up and coming out from the foregrip. It has an MP5 style sight, and it actually has the detail of having like a small dial that you would turn to adjust the input of the gas pressure if this were a real firearm. And we'll show you right now how you assemble and disassemble it, and also any maintenance that you might have for it. Okay everybody, I'm going to show you how to put together your Spec front sight gas block. When you get it out of the container after it's shipped, you're going to have these parts. You're going to have 2 different lengths of machine screws, 2 nuts, and you're going to have the 2 clamshells that make up the sight. This is so that with the design like this, instead of having it something where it slides directly on the barrel, all barrels have a different design or different widths that go down the length of the barrel, and this way it won't scratch up your barrel. And also we have them out of solid high strength plastic polymers instead of machined aluminum, because there's even less chance of it scratching up your barrels, and barrels are expensive and you don't want to scratch them. So we're going to show you with this one, where instead of the black screws we have the unfinished steel ones, so that you can see the detail better. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is take your included number 4 metric Allen key, or if you don't have a metric one, if you lose this, you can still use a 7/64 that you can commonly find on an Allen key set. The one problem with using an Allen key set like this, where you would want to use the L keys instead, is with this type. You'll find that when you try to tighten and loosen these screws, it's difficult because it butts right up against the sight. Even if you try to do it sideways like this, it'll still be rather annoying trying to do that. You don't want to scratch up your sight, or it just takes a longer time. So we have included with all of the sights this key, so that you can get more distance out of every turn. So you're going to want to loosen and tighten the sight just so. So when you go to put on your Spec front sight, we try to make it pretty universal inside, but because a lot of barrels have a lot of different outside diameters, we've fitted it pretty much to fit snug on a Lapco assault barrel, because those are very popular with the Milsim players right now. This is a Palmer's brass. It's a little narrower, so you can see how it slides easily back and forth. For a thinner barrel like this, you'll want to have a piece of fabric, a little piece of rubber, something to act in there as a spacer, so when you clamp this down, it'll tighten up against it. What I like to do, because everybody has one of these, is just take a rubber band, wrap it around once, twice, 3 times around your barrel, right where you want to have your sight. Everybody has those. You don't have to buy anything special for that. And it works really well. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take one of the nuts, and on the bottom there's this groove that it inserts into. And you can see how it sets right inside. Use the head of the screw just to make sure it's in there nice and flat. And now, because this is a narrower barrel, we can use the shorter length 3/4 inch machine screw rather than the 1.5 one. These would predominantly be used for if you have a really wide barrel where there's a large gap. But for this will work just fine. So you take your machine screw, set it in right through the hole on the top, hold the nut in place with your finger, take your Allen key, and just tighten it. You don't have to don't tighten it all the way at first right now. You just want it to grab on a little bit to, right now it's the rubber band. If you're using a Lapco assault barrel, you won't need anything that wide to take up the gap. Just a small piece of paper, even folded up a couple times, will do it. Then you just go to the reverse side, clamp it down, take your nut, insert it into the bottom, take one of the screws, the heads, push up on it and make sure it's in there nice and flat. Take your other screw, set it right inside the hole so it goes down both sides of the clam shell, and then tighten that side down.